Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Hazel the Heretic, and today we're going to be in episode 4 of our Bible horror stories. Now, there are a lot of horrific stories in the Bible, so if you have a favorite, please put it in the comment section below. I'm happy to cover as many of these as we can think of. Sometimes I just open the Bible and they pop up. But a lot of times I'll get the critique that it's in the Old Testament, even though God is supposed to be the same today, forever, and always, or whatever. They're like, oh, well, that's the Old Testament. It's before the New Covenant. So it doesn't really stick. So this time I'm going to do one in the New Testament. This one is Mark 11. It's going to be 12 through 14 and then 20 through 33. It's specifically the story about how Jesus curses the fig tree. Now, there's a little part in the middle about how he cleanses the temple. So I'll talk a little bit about that when it comes, but feel free to read that for yourself as well. Anyway, let's dive into it. Okay, so I'm going to start here at Mark 11, verse 12. On the following day, when they came from Bethany, he was hungry, and seeing in the distance a fig tree and a leaf, he went to see if he could find anything on it. When he came to it, he found nothing but leaves, for it was not the season for figs. And he said to it, "May no one eat fruit for you again." And his disciples heard it. So I'm going to assume this is him getting mad, because the thing that happens right before this is his big triumphant entry into the city. Like, there's screaming Hosanna, there's palm trees, he's being welcomed into the city. And then right after that happens, after they've entered Jerusalem, he's hungry on the following day. Sorry, it's the following day. That's the first thing it says. But on the following day from that event, from coming into town, he's hungry and he wants fruit, and he sees a tree that he created. Move to the table. That he created specifically to have fruit in certain seasons. God created these trees. He made them seasonal. He made them so they'd have fruit in certain seasons. Why are you mad? And also, why do you not know? I thought you were omnipotent or omni-brain something. I don't know. I'm not it. Anyway, it's really strange to me that the God of the universe would specifically be expecting something from something he made to be different. You made it. You knew what it was going to do and how often it was going to do it. You knew that it wasn't in season. For it was not the season for figs. It's not like you were asking something reasonable. And if you really were God, couldn't you just snap your fingers and make it happen? So, I don't know. Anyway, I think it's interesting because it shows how Jesus' requests aren't always rational or fair. That's just not, it doesn't make any sense. Why are you asking it specifically to do something you know it can't do? Dude, it's like me when I was trying to be straight. Dude, when I was in Christianity and I felt like this fig tree and they were like, this is the person you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be blooming fruit whenever we want it, whenever we're hungry. I just have to be ready and have fruit for Jesus. But I wasn't. I was a person that was made to be a certain way, and it's the way I am, and it's ridiculous to expect me to bear fruit not in season. Either you didn't make it and you don't know, or you're unreasonable. Feel free to let me know what you think in the comments, but that's my assessment. Anyway, so then it goes on to talk about how Jesus cleanses the temple. So this is when they were selling things in the temple and God got all mad. It's like my dad's favorite reason for why he could get mad at us, for righteous anger. Even though I don't think most of the things that he was angry about would count. He wasn't quite flipping tables. Anyway, well, he was, just not for the same reason. Anyway, it's specifically about how, no, this is supposed to be a place for worship. This shouldn't be a place to make money, which in general, honestly, I really agree with. I'm like super against greed. And I think that, if this is a place that you're coming to worship and to be closer to God and you're making it a way to gain money off of people, that's disgusting. And I agree. Flip those tables. Jesus was right about that one. Flip those tables. Anyway, so then after those tables get flipped, it says that the evening came, they went out of the city. And as they're leaving the city, it's going to talk again about the withered fig tree. So we're going to start in 11:20. As they passed by the morning, they saw the fig tree withered away to its roots. And Peter remembered and said to him, "Rabbi, look, the fig tree that you cursed has withered." And Jesus answered him, "Have faith in God. Truly I say to you, whoever says to the mountain, 'Be taken up and thrown into the sea,' and does not doubt in his heart, but believes what he says will come to pass, it will be done for him." I asked a lot of things that were significantly smaller than that if God was a good person would have been in as well. I very much believed in that verse, and it makes me annoyed now. But that's a personal thing. Back to the poor tree that he made wither because he was mad. "Therefore, I tell you, whatever you ask in prayer, believe that you will receive it, and it will be yours. And whenever you stand praying, forgive if you have anything against anyone, so that your Father, who is also in heaven, may forgive your trespasses." So that's a whole nother issue of the expectation of forgiveness. Basically, if you don't forgive someone for horrible, heinous things against you, you will not be forgiven and you will go to hell for cheating on a test and doing regular life shit. And maybe being an asshole every once in a while. But I'm not going to forgive you for murdering my friend. Go fuck off. I do think that there is a good release that comes from that. And I have a lot of, I don't know, kind of trauma with that word. So I don't like to say that I forgive people or things. It's more releasing it. That's something I've been working on. And I've actually really found art therapy to be super helpful with that. I draw what I'm thinking and feeling. And it's just kind of a nice way to get it all on the page and feel it and release those feelings. Not to forget about them, not so that they never come back. Not that I'll never get mad about them again. But just, I can just express them and it's out there in the world, and I deserve to take up that space. You deserve to take up that space. And I think that it is helpful. At least I found it very helpful and freeing, even though it's not easy. Anyway, back to the story where we're mad at Jesus. After that, it just goes into how the authority of Jesus is challenged. When the chief priests come out and say whose authority are you doing this from? Is it God or from man? So that they could get him. And he basically was neither. Neither will I tell you what authority I do all these things. Sounds like a scam. I don't know. Anyway, I'm just teasing. But I find this story really interesting because it's one from the New Testament, and it's Jesus who is the ultimate good guy. People will be yeah, God the Father can be kind of a dick. We all have those fathers, right? But Jesus is supposed to be the good one. Jesus is the one that came and gave for you and died for your sin. This is not a huge, horrific thing that he's doing in this text, but he's supposed to be God. And he just very much questions, for me, his ability to even make moral choices for himself, much less decide anyone else's morality. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and let me know if you have any of your own Bible horror stories you would like to go over. Please like and subscribe if you would like to see more Bible horror stories and whatever else is going on in this brain. And remember to keep laughing through the apocalypse.